Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. With just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes.
As well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details. And please remember to play responsibly.
Lewis Galbraith will partner the returning Dale Bloomfield. Dale will be making his 100th appearance for Rochdale today. James Tilley will be in the halves as he takes the place of Paul Crook, with Danny Yates partnering him. Joe Tyra, Ben Moores and Warren Thompson in the front row. John O'Smith and Jordan Case at the second row for Rochdale, and Alex Trumpet makes his first appearance since York away at loose forward. Ryan Maneely, Matty Haddon, Samir Tarawi on the bench, along with Harry Cartwright, who makes his Hornets debut after a lengthy suspension. So the hooter goes in the background. London are onto the pitch, and we're moments away from kick-off. Looks like Danny Yates will get us underway here at the New River Stadium. Rochdale 13, live coverage from New River Stadium. London Skolars versus Rochdale Hornets, this League One Super 8s fixture. Rochdale will be looking to make a bit of a statement after last week's disappointing defeat. They went down to Barrow away. It was a poor performance there, 34-12. They were beaten at Craven Park for the first time in 3 appearances there this year. So they'll be looking to respond here at London Skolars, who have lost 3 of their last 4 games, and their last win here came against Barrow in round 11. So we're underway. Rochdale kick off, and London will take the first carry. There's numbers in defence, and they're peeling off one by one. And London go down the short side here, not making many metres with that play. They're attacking left to right, the home side. Rochdale right to left.
It's been a nice day down in London. Really warm evening. Bit of cloud over, but it's been a good day. Glad the weather stayed off anyway. That's the rain anyway.
Yeah, it's a 4G pitch here at the New River Stadium. It's a nice quick track. It looks tight from up here, but we were down on the pitch before kick-off, weren't we, Luke? And it seemed a lot wider down on pitch side.
Yeah, it were a bit deceiving really when you get up here. It's a tight pitch, and Hornets just penned in here in their own 20. Dale Bloomfield just takes it in. Yeah, Dale Bloomfield's just made a clear knock on at the play of the ball, and the referees just chose to play on. Ben Moores feeds it to Joe Tyra. Hornets just advancing now on the 40-metre mark. Danny Yates kicks deep. It's a good kick. It stands up well. That just confuses a fullback for a minute, but they recover well.
So London looking to get out of their own red zone here. Just a simple play, and Rochdale are penned for offside. The first penalty of this afternoon goes the way of the home side, London Skolars. Offside at the player of Rochdale. It's a fine touch, 40 metres out from Rochdale's line. So the first attacking set of the game, and it's a quick tap from the centre. Lemek Juma. He makes his way towards Rochdale's 20 metre. And he'll be looking to swing the ball left here. They go to James Quirtons. He's tackled by Alex Trumper with the help of Ben Moores and Warren Thompson. They peel off one by one. They go short now. Mike Bichet looks to put something on at the line, but Rochdale stand up to it. Defending their line here for the first time in this game, and there's another penalty here, and there's a shove after the play. A couple of players running in. The penalty did go to Skolars, and I think it's Aaron Lemek Juma, was a bit over enthusiastic there after the play of the ball. Give Danny Yates a bit of a shove, but referee having a word now. Penalty will still stand. Back to back for Skolars now. Real tester for Rochdale.
They'll need to cut that out. You don't need to give a team like this so much field position. They've shocked a few teams already this season. The last thing you need to be doing is gifting them. Crunching hit from Joe Taylor under the sticks.
We said before the game that we'd expect a few of them, and he's not disappointed so far, Joe, with a big hit early on. Half break there from London, but they go within inches of the try line. They try a cut-out ball, and Lewis Galbraith picks up the loose pass, makes his way to safety, and Rochdale have made it out of that situation. Back-to-back penalties given against them, but they've defended the line well, and they've come out with possession.
Yeah, he did well though, Trigger. He reacted well to the stray pass, and he's eaten up a few yards, sort of lifted the pressure from them back-to-back penalties. He's done well. Rochdale
are on the front foot a little here, and helped along by a penalty there. We've seen some clips of the Skolars before the game, Luke, and one thing that Killer pointed out was the penalties that they give away, so we can expect a lot more of that, can't we, in the next 80 minutes?
Yeah, definitely. They are quite, I wouldn't say indisciplined, but naive, I think, in places, and they do tend to give away a few penalties. I know last week against Hunslet they gave, I think it was 13 penalties away. So that'll be at the back of their minds, I think, somewhat.
As Rochdale go left now, John O'Smith, he dummies at the line. He's about 12 metres away with a number of London Skolars players around him, putting him to ground eventually. Ben Moores will go right to Danny Yates. And Yates short ball to Warren Thompson. He's almost through a gap there, but he's hauled down a couple of metres short. Sloppy play the ball, but it gets out to Tilly, who finds a ball out to Wayne English. Wayne English is stepping his way back inside and gets tackled quite central on the last. And Moores goes to Yates. Yates puts a kick up. And it's looked to be knocked on there by Skolars. And he's given a 20-metre restart.
That's
an odd call.
Decision. If that's not a knock on, he's palmed that dead. So it should be a dropout.
Yeah, Rochdale can feel hard done by that decision, I think, as Skolars were awarded a 20-metre tap. Yeah. A good hit there by Trumper and Tilly as London try and get out of their own half. Numbers in defence though. London Skolars have made it to the 40-metre line as they play the ball and go left. That's a carry from Mike Warranty there. Gets towards the halfway line. And the kick on the last goes into the corner where Dale Bloomfield marshals it into the in goal. And he makes his way out of the in goal and towards the 10-metre. So Bloomfield plays it. Wayne English with the carry.
And Corey Lee picks it up from acting half, speeds forward. It's about 10 metres up there, and it's Ben Moores now waiting. Pops it up to Danny Yates, who hoofs it, and he's just bobbled up for the London fullback. He takes it in. Hornets attacking from right to left in this first half at New River. Welcome to those just joining us. It is Rochdale 13 live commentary. It's still 0-0. London are just probing here. They've been kept in their own half in this set, and they'll be looking now on the last. I spoke too soon. They've just crept in, and it's Joe Tyra in again. He doesn't stray away in defence. Neither does James Tilley, who's just come in as well. And the ball's out, and it's bombed high. It's a high bomb. Wayne English is underneath it. He leaps well and takes it. Hornets will restart from 10 metres out from their own line now. And it's Matt Ratu who takes it in on the right edge. And it'll be Ben Moser to pick it up. Alex Trumper now takes it in. It's his first match since the defeat at York on the 5th of June, I think it was. Hornets appeal for a penalty there, but the referee doesn't say anything. John O'Smith just takes it in. Good leg drive. About 35 metres out from their own line. Hornets, Warren Thompson now. Fantastic drive from Warren Thompson there.
Yeah, he's always dependable, Warren Thompson, as Danny Yates puts the kick in on the last. You mentioned Alex Trumper there, Luke, coming back for the first time since that York defeat. It's a good chance for him now to put in a big performance and give Alan Kilshaw something to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know from talking to Alan, he rates Alex highly. He's very dependable, he's strong in defence, and he gets through a lot of work. He's probably one of the more underrated players in the side. But he turns up, he gets through it, he gets through a lot of work, and he is ever reliable, and he has been for the past few years. London now just attacking, just on the halfway line. He's just brought down by James Tilley. James Tilley just needs to be careful here. He is playing in that half-back role, and he's involved in a lot of defence early on. He don't want to burn himself out too early. I think perhaps he just needs to take a step away and sort of assess the game as it's going on.
Yeah, I think that's force of habit from Tilley. He likes to be in the middle and involved. He's always one of the top tacklers, stats-wise. He's always involved in near enough every tackle in the set of 6. So it's force of habit, I think, and he'll get used to it as the game goes on. He'll find it a bit harder to get around the pitch in that half-back role as Lewis Galbraith is lifted into an uncompromising position there, and there's a few pushes and shoves as players are in.
Corey Lee's just come flying in from about 10-15 metres away from the play of the ball. Give it a shove. I think it was Corey Lee. It could have been Dale Bloomfield actually.
It was one of the two. It's still going off in the background. It's the number 3 for Skolars. It's the second time that he's been involved in something like this.
I don't know what's going on there. The crowd seem to think there's a bit of a niggle or something. I didn't see it properly. I just saw. I think Corey Lee come flying in with a shove. To be honest, I don't really know what's going on.
Well, Lewis Galbraith was lifted into a dangerous position. He was then placed back down on his feet. The penalty was awarded to Rochdale, and then in came either Bloomfield or Corey Lee. We're not quite sure, but one of the two. And things kind of escalated from there.
It could have been Dale Bloomfield because he's occupying this left wing. He'd have been positioned to come in.
Well, the referee's conferring with his touch judges now as the clock's been stopped. And that's getting some water. It's been an even start to the game. Not much attacking rugby on show so far, apart from London Skolars in the Rochdale half for the back-to-back penalties.
Check out our Rochdale Hornets shop, either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details. Check out.
So Wayne English has been called over to the referee here. I'm going to find out what his decision is. That a penalty was awarded. It is Corey Lee coming running over, so maybe it was Corey that ran in there. Hopefully he doesn't change his decision on the penalty.
Still a Hornets penalty.
So Rochdale will have possession. Danny Yates will look to find touch from his own 40, try and get into the London Skolars half, which he does. So attacking from about 40 metres out now. A good chance for Rochdale to throw the ball about in the London half as John O'Smith takes the first carry.
Yeah, they've soaked up a bit of pressure on it early on. London have come out enthusiastic. Probably had the better of the opening 15 minutes, I think. Now, Hornets just probing. They're about 30 metres out, 20 metres out.
Warren Thompson gets an offload there. Joe Tyra dummies and then goes and brushes off one, and eventually he's taken down 10 metres out. So a big chance for Rochdale to get the first score on the board here as a turn-up play sees Rochdale go even closer with a flat ball from Tilly, nearly putting Case over. Joe Tyra close to the line now, trying to drive his way over, but he's taken central under the sticks on the last tackle. Danny Yates is out the back on the left-hand side, but it's a flat pass to Warren Thompson, and he's over. Warren Thompson's crashed over for the opener. Danny Yates was positioned out the back for the pass to put a kick in on the last, but instead Ben Moore's found Warren Thompson and he's over for the first try. Good to get over in the first real time we've been in the red zone, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a set earlier on where we matched up field off the back of a penalty, and was we just brought down short this time. It's come up to him a flat ball, and he's crashed over it, and he's done well to ground it actually. And it'll be Danny Yates who lines up the conversion. Paul Crook's missing from the side this week. Take a short break. We'll be back with you in a minute.
Rochdale Hornets needs your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
Yep, Danny Yates just tees up the conversion, hopes to improve it to make it 6-0 to Rochdale Hornets. The kick's successful, 6-0 Rochdale Hornets.
So a pretty good opening exchanges for Rochdale. They've got over for the first try through Warren Thompson. They've absorbed some pressure on their own line. It's not been the most expansive game so far, but Rochdale are 6-0 ahead as London will restart the game here. As we mentioned, Rochdale looking to bounce back from that defeat away to Barrow last week. Only the second defeat of the season. It's been an impressive start to the year so far, hasn't it, Luke? Would you have took second after the initial period had ended, the 15 rounds?
Absolutely, mate. We was well written off, before the season started. A lot of media outlets had us 9th, 10th, 8th. They had teams like North Wales and Newcastle above us who've not even made the 8. And I think we massively overachieved. We've been fantastic off field this year, and it's reaped its rewards, on the field. So yeah, second, I'd have snatched your hand off.
As you say, it has been an impressive season so far, but Rochdale will be looking to kick on in this Super 8 style end of the season. It was a disappointing way to get it up and running last week, but they're on the road to recovery here. They're 6-0 up as they were awarded a penalty and are in London's half now as John O'Smith with the first carry. And now Danny Yates puts the ball out to James Tilley, who absorbs a big hit there and manages to get up and play the ball now with Warren Thompson in the next carry. Another big hit in the middle, but the Rochdale front rower is still on his feet and then plays the ball. Trumper with the next carry towards the 20 metre. Rochdale in good position here. Danny Yates looks to take on the line and he's got Joe Tyra in support. He's taken about 6 or 7 metres out. It's last tackle now. Ben Moores jumps from dummy half, finds Danny Yates after brushing off a tackle. Lee puts a kick in, and it's knocked dead by London Skolars. So Rochdale get a repeat set. Chance to build some pressure here now, Luke.
Yeah, they've come alive now after that first try. It was a real arm wrestle early doors. London probably having the best of the opening 15 minutes or so. Hornets have just come alive now. It was a good set to get us upfield and a good vision from Danny Yates to stick it into the corner. Perhaps unfortunate that Dale Bloomfield don't get a hand on it, but it will be a repeat set. And London get the game back underway. It's a deep kick to Wayne English, who stood on the halfway line. Comes up to Warren Thompson, who takes it in. Another good drive from Warren Thompson. He's been fantastic in the opening exchanges. Ben Moores now at hooker, pops it up to Joe Taira. He cuts back inside. And he's dragged down about 30 metres out. It's out to Jordan Case on that right edge. Hornets in a good position here, about 5 metres out from the line. Moores onto Tilly. Tilly goes himself. He's just chopped down about a metre out under the sticks. Comes up to Danny Yates, onto John O'Smith. John O'Smith dummies, comes back inside. Dummies again, and he's over. John O'Smith. That was a bit off the cuff there, Sean, towards the end. It looked like it was going to come out to the wing, or there was going to be a move put on, and John O'Smith just cut back inside, and he's wrestled his way over. Good to get back on the score sheet for John O, no doubt.
Yeah, he's been quite prolific this season, John O, since making his switch from North Wales Crusaders. He, like you say, the ball looked to be going out to the wing, and he had other ideas. John O came back inside. If someone would have pushed with him, he could have sent him over for a simple try, but there was no support, and it was no problem for John O as he forced his way over and gets Rochdale's second try of the game. So Rochdale well in control now after an even opening exchange. John O. Smith with the second try of the game, coming off the back of a goal line dropout that Rochdale had forced. And Danny Yates will look to improve the effort and make it 12-0. Should be a pretty simple kick for the number 7, as he steps up and knocks it over. So Rochdale are 12-0 up here at the New River Stadium. Just back to John O. Smith, Luke. He's obviously one of Killer's first signings as head coach, and he's brought a lot of experience to the Rochdale side, and he's been a great asset, hasn't he, in that back row? Yeah, absolutely. I believe he come very close to signing for Barrow in the off season, but I think he'd have been on quite a substantial wage up there, and he's opted to not come to Rochdale for perhaps a bit less than what he was offered, but for the chance to work with Alan Kilshaw, who we knew he's worked with before, and it's paying off for him, because he's been head and shoulders above a lot of players in the comp this year. And just as I'm talking, Hornets knock on at the play of the ball, and the ball's turned over to London. They're out 5 metres out from the Hornets line. The line speed's good though. They meet the London man, and they're still 5 metres out. Comes up, and it's a good shot from Matt Haddon. Just spins off, and Samir Towery wraps him up. London probing here. They're looking for a way through. They've been looking for a way through. You know, the ball's come loose. It's a knock on. It's a London knock on. Great defence from Rochdale. He's shot out on the half-back. They've got 3 men in the tackle and forced the ball loose there. Great defence and a great outcome there for Rochdale after he'd knocked on from the kick-off.
Lewis Galbraith's just struggling here. He's gone down after that crunching it that forced the ball out, and he looks to be struggling. He's gone to get to his feet, and he's wobbling a bit.
The last thing they need with Rochdale is an injury to that back line.
Yeah, and Brian's on the Hornets physio, and the doctors will just be making his way to the pitch shortly, I'd imagine. But I think he's up, he's on a knee. He's just talking to Brian. I think he'll be all right to play on. We'll be back with you after this short advert.
Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. With just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes.
as well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details. And please remember to play responsibly.
Lewis Gables made his way back into the defensive line. It's a Hornets scrum, about 12 metres out from their own try line. And Danny Yates feeds it. It's onto Dale Bloomfield, who takes the ball in. And Ben Moore scoops it up onto Matty Haddon, who's met by 3 London defenders. He still makes good yards there, Matty Haddon. And he plays the ball onto Ben Moores, out to Jordan Case. Jordan Case is just put on his front, looks for the quick play of the ball onto Samir. That's a good drive from Samir, just gets chopped down to Jordan Case, who's over on that right side. Ben Moores waits for the ball to come out. It's through to Danny Yates, who stabs a kick through, and it runs dead. Just eat up a few minutes for Hornets.
It's not a bad outcome that Danny Yates has drilled the ball into touch on the 10-metre line of Skolars, so they'll have head and feed of a scrum there, but they've got a chance to trap them in their own 20-metre and get a hold on the field position here. It wasn't a bad outcome, as I said, from that play. Obviously Rochdale would have liked to have got over for another try, but they'll be quite content with that set. Another set completed and a chance to keep their opponents penned in their own half. As London take the first carry, and Trump is in the tackle there with Jordan Case. Samir out there now, he makes a tackle and drives his man back. Samir and Matty Haddon into the front row for Joe and Warren. Matty Haddon involved in the next tackle. It's a great asset for Rochdale, isn't it, to bring those 2 front rowers off the bench, Luke. As Samir charges down a kick, the referee wipes the tackle count. Like I say, it's a great for Alan Kilshaw to have those 2 front rowers to bring on off the bench. Yeah,
absolutely. They come on and they ramp up. You know what you're going to get with them. It's just no nonsense. It's hard running, hard defence, and it is good. It sort of settles the game down as well when they come on, especially when you've had a bit of a hectic opening half hour like we've had here. London have had a lot of ball, and they've sort of been knocking on the door, and there's not been much on for them really. But to bring them 2 on and ramp it up and just sort of quietens them down definitely. And London just kicked through, and the ball stands up in the Hornets try line. Wayne English was fantastic there to come back into the field of play to ensure it's not a dropout. Hornets out now, 1 metre from the try line, and Wayne English scoops up from dummy half, takes it back in. You just see Matt Ratu on that right side. He's yelling at the Hornets players just to pull over and put their hand up to take the ball in. Corey Lee picks it up, and great carry from Corey Lee there. Just takes it in. He's just being dragged back now from the one. Oh,
gets an off-roll.
Yeah, that's a harsh call. He's dragged it back to play it. Danny Yates kicks straight down the throat of the fullback. It's a poor kick, really poor kick from Danny Yates there. And the kick return's good. He brings it back up to halfway, the London fullback. Might be Shea just picks it up, tips it on. And Matty Haddon, and he's met by Matty Haddon and Samir Towery, who drag him back the best part of 10 metres there. Fantastic defence that. And you can just hear Dave Ramsbottom in the home dugout of the opposite side of the pitch to us, and he's screaming line speed, and he got that then with Matty Haddon and Samir. London about 30 metres out, cut back inside, and they're brought down, looking for the quick play of the ball, moves it out to the left, chips over the top, and it's Corey Lee who collects it. He does well there. Oh, he does fantastically well to come out. Corey Lee breaks from his own try line. It looked like he was about to be dragged down. He skipped out the challenge and he took it 35 metres out from the Hornets line onto Lewis Galbraith now, who just slips. He goes down before the challenge, and he's knocked back a few yards. James Tilley's at dummy half now, and the referee pings London for a interference at the play of the ball, and it was coming, to be fair.
That's a great play from Corey Lee there. He looked for all your money that he was going to be trapped in his own in goal. It was a good kick. He took it well into his own in goal area, but managed to creep up the touchline and get Rochdale on the front foot. They absorbed some pressure there, and they were trying the hardest not to let London in. Great play from Corey, and then now they've got a penalty, so they're attacking in London's half. As Ryan Manili skips from dummy half, it's a wild pass from James Tilley, and the curse of the commentator strikes as Rochdale cough up possession. Ryan Manili out there at dummy half now for Ben Moores. And James Tilley come up with the error there, so London Skolars now into Rochdale's half with possession. Some more defensive work for Rochdale to get through now. James Tilley again involved in a tackle then, not shying away. As London managed to keep the ball alive here and go out all the way to the left edge, where they're eventually tackled 40 metres out. Rochdale, some good line speed in the middle, meet the man and force him down.
Number 9, Ben Moores. On is number 20, Ryan McKeeley. And substitute for London Skolars, off number 9.
It's a kick up from Skolars, is knocked back, and they try and keep it alive, but they're taken 3 or 4 metres away from Rochdale's try line, and it'll be a handover. It was a tricky kick there. Wayne English tried to get up for it, but it was knocked back by Skolars, and they go closer, breaking their deadlock. But Rochdale stand tall. It's just on the substitution there. Ben Moore's coming off the field. He looks in some discomfort on the bench there. It'd be a big blow if they lose him for the remainder of the game, won't it, Luke?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been solid for us this season, Ben Moores, and I think the plan was, from how I read it, would be to start James Tilley at half back with Moores eventually coming in to relieve him. I don't think Tilley would play the full 80 as a natural forward, so it'd be a massive blow, and it'd scupper the initial game plan if Moores is unable to continue. Hornet, yeah, another penalty for Rochdale. London are trying just to slow it down as much as they can, and the referee is not buying it. It was Samir Towery then, about 45 metres out from the line. He was interfered with on the ground, and Danny Yates dumps it into touch about 10 metres out from the London line. More like 20 metres out, getting a bit overexcited.
Another stoppage here, Luke, though. We picked that up in video as well, didn't we?
Yeah, it is another stoppage. There's a London man down just on a knee, the physio's on. He's just retreating now to join his defensive line.
And as we take that break, Harry Cartwright makes his way onto the field for this Hornets debut in place of Alex Trumper. Be good to see how he goes, Luke, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be great to see. He's been really good around the place. He joined us shortly after Christmas as a trialist. He has actually returned from a doping ban, a 2-year doping ban, but Alan Kilshaw's rewarded his efforts in pre-season with a debut today, and I'm hoping for him after such a long time out that he can get stuck in and he gets back to how good we know he can be.
Yeah. As Rochdale are just yards away from the line, Samir Tarawi goes agonisingly close to getting over for Rochdale. He's wrestled with it to play the ball. And the ball's shipped out to Danny Yates, and he puts a kick in, and John Smith dives on the ball for his second. that combination on that left-hand side of Yates and Smith has been prolific all season, and that's a great play there from Yates with the kick, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. It's a third try now that's gone in more or less the same. Three tries that have gone down in the same place. I think they've identified that this left side there's a bit of a weakness, and John O'Smith's having a bit of a field day. He's been running well, and he just latches onto a bobbling kick. As and just as Danny Yates tees up the kick, we'll take a short break.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
And just as we've been aware that the referees pulled in both captains, just say a bit, calm it down a bit. There's a bit of it's a messy ruck, and London have been pinged for it. They've been penalised a few times now, and it's a bit of push and shove, a bit of arms and feet left in, and it's contributing to a bit of a slow game, really. Danny Yates just weighs the kick up 10 metres out, just to the left of the sticks. Hornets going well here. They seem to have responded as Danny Yates just knocks over the conversion. They seem to be responding well from last week. I get the impression that they're grinding it out. It's a slow game, as I've mentioned, and they just need to keep doing what they're doing, don't they? Yeah,
it's tough when you come up against sides like this. They do like to play London, but in defence they'll slow you down and they'll try and get you into an arm wrestle. Rochdale have got to play their way around that. They have got some big men in the middle, but they don't want to get stuck in a dogfight in the middle. They want to play some rugby league, and they have done so far. It's like you say about grinding it out, and they've done that well so far. They're 18-0 up. It was Warren Thompson who opened the scoring, and John O'Smith has been in for a brace since, as Harry Cartwright takes in his first carry in a Rochdale Hornets shirt and plays the ball before Samir Tarrawi makes the next carry and over the 30-metre line. Good, strong run. Yates puts Matty Haddon into the middle of the field. He's met by some solid defence, but makes his way to the 40-metre. He'll play the ball to Manili. Tilly now. Tilly onto Jordan Case, who juggled the ball before regathering it.
He was well to keep hold. He was clattered. It was a bit of a loose pass from Tilly. He did well to hang on.
And Tilly puts the last tackle kick in.
It's a great kick.
And the bounce has evaded the fullback. It's given the chase a good chance to get up there. And Samir with the first impact, and then he's thrown back there by Harry Cartwright. A good chase and a good tackle from the Hornets' debutant.
He's gone well in the early stages since coming on. He's as excited as you'd expect 2 years out, getting well stuck in.
Yeah, I've spoken to him a few times over the last couple of weeks, and he's been raring to get out there, and you can tell from his performance so far. He's trying to be involved in every tackle, and London Skolars make a bit of a half break there towards the halfway line, and they get a quick play the ball, and they look to exploit Rochdale, but some good cover defence from John O'Smith brings them down. It's last tackle with a little chip over the top from Coleman, and he makes his way past Wayne English, and it's over for London's first try of the game. It all came from a bit of a missed tackle from Samir in the middle. London were on the front foot, and then it was Oscar Thomas, not Coleman, who chipped over the top and managed to evade Wayne English to score. It's a bit of a poor one to concede that, Luke, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but it was smart play from the London man. Good vision. He saw the broken line, winged it a bit, chipped over the top, and he takes his own kick, stepped the fullback, and he's gone in. It's a good try. It's a poor one to concede from a coach's point of view, but you've got to give it to London. They've responded from a three tries to nil, and he'll just line the kick up now, the London man. We'll be back with you shortly.
Check out our Rochdale Hornets shop. either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details.
And just as we're back here, the London man converts his own try. Welcome if you're just joining us. We're not far from half time now. Hornets attacking right to left in this first half at New River Stadium. It was a 5 p.m. kick-off, not what we're normally accustomed to. Hornets just trundle up to the halfway line to restart the game.
So Rochdale conceded the first try of this game. They were 18-0 up thanks to tries from Warren Thompson and a brace from John O'Smith. But then Oscar Thomas scored before converting his own effort as Danny Yates drills the ball into the corner for the restart. And it's some good defence from Rochdale has got them pinned in that corner. So a lot to keep them here and respond and kick on from that disappointment of conceding there. Like Luke said, it was a good individual try, but a bit of a coach killer there. As London make their way over the 40 metre. Samir's involved in a challenge. In comes Manili late. He managed to wrestle into the ground in his own half. Now they ship the ball left. A bit of an awkward tackle there. The London player manages to land on his back. And the ball's hoofed up, knocked back. Well, attempted to be knocked back by London, but the knock-on means that Rochdale will have a turnover about 30 metres from their own try line. So it's an attack that comes to nothing for London there.
Yeah, it was a high-hanging kick that really tormented us at Barrow last week, and it was that good that it evaded his own teammate. Samir just comes onto the ball. And he's brought down on the halfway line. He wasn't brought down, sorry. Played it up to Ryan Manili, who scooted from half. And London are offside from the quick play of the ball. Good work there from Samir. Danny Yates just dumps it into touch. Hornets around 15 metres out from the London line. Manili plays it onto Danny Yates, who comes back inside. Dummies, but he's brought down 10 metres out. Ryan Manili onto Matty Haddon, who goes right then left, and he's brought down just under the sticks. Manili out to Yates, back inside to Samir, who looks for that quick play of the ball on the London line, out to John O'Smith. John O'Smith's in again for a hat-trick. A carbon copy of his first try. It comes up to him, he shapes left, cuts back into the right and dives over. You'd think by now, 40 minutes into the game, that London had wised up to that.
Yeah, it was. It opened up for John O'Smith there. Like you say, he stepped off his left foot and the hole was there. It was big enough for him to exploit, and he's over from close range. It's a simple hat-trick for the back rower in this first period. He's having a lot of joy down that left edge, the right edge of London Skolars. And Rochdale respond from conceding that try of Oscar Thomas's. So Danny Yates will line the kick up now.
Yeah, and that's 4 tries now. All Hornets tries have been in the same area of the pitch. That left side that we mentioned earlier, they've obviously pinpointed it, and they're utilising it well. It was a slow start from both sides, and Hornets are coming to the stride now. You've got to bear in mind that this London side pushed Hunslet really close last week. They're no mugs. As Danny Yates slots over the extras. Yeah, Danny Yates has the extras. It's 24-6 to Rochdale Hornets. Half-time approaching any time now. It's been a much improved Hornets performance from last week in what is in what's a really reshuffled side. It's a deep kick-off from London. And Wayne English collects it just under the sticks. He takes it back in, 10 metres out from his own line. Ryan Manili, onto Matty Haddon, who takes it in. Matty Haddon's got through a lot of work since coming off the bench. Really impressed me. Manili onto Samir, who's... Yes. Hornets break down the left after the ball's knocked out of the tackle. Lewis Galbraith brought down about on the halfway line. There's more interfering. They're trying to slowly play the ball down. Hornets just want a fast play. It's working well, but the referee's he's no mug, now. And there's an off-the-ball incident there, and Lewis Galbraith's been chopped. It's number 3, Aaron Small. He's been really feisty, Aaron Small, since kick-off. He's been involved in a couple bits of pushing and shoving and incidents, and there was an incident just before where Lewis Galbraith's looking for the quick play of the ball, and he's thrashing around. He's thrashing around trying to play the ball, and the London man takes exception. He comes flying into Galbraith off the ball. The touch judge has seen it. He's conferred with his linesman. He's sin-binned him. It's a yellow card, and the London man's not going quietly. He's squaring up to everybody. I think he's just squared up to just about everybody except the linesman. He went back in for seconds. He was met by Samir, and he's gone quietly now, as you'd expect.
Yeah, it's a bizarre turn of events there. As you mentioned, the off-the-ball challenge, his referee spotted it and made him sit down for 10, but he threw his toys out of the pram before going.
Yeah, he's got the kicking to his hand there, Shaw.
Yeah, not long left in this half, so a simple decision really to take the 2 and extend that lead. But then again, he's passed it back on to Jake Scholl, and Ryan Manili will tap it instead. So they'll play as John O'Smith takes the first hit up. And now Harry Cartwright with a carry.
Could prove a fruitful decision. The 10 metres out. Harry Cartwright just took a great drive in. Again, looking for the fast play. It's not come. It's out to Danny Yates, onto John O'Smith.
They've flew out on John O'Smith. Obviously, they know that after 3 tries that they've got to shape up on that right edge, and they've tackled him about 11 metres out, but now Samir takes it to the line, and Harry Cartwright's in support and goes agonisingly close to that London Skolars try line. Manili now goes right. Tilly steps and then gets it out to Jordan Case. And Jordan Case is over. It was, like you say, it could have proved fruitful, and it did. It looked certain that Rochdale would take the 2 there and make it 26-6, but Jordan Case has found his way over, and good work from Rochdale to run the play rather than take the penalty loop.
Yeah, brave decision. I don't even know how long was left on the clock. For the last 5 minutes, we keep looking, thinking it's any time now. But yeah, there was about... It was a penalty from about 15 metres out, just to the left of the sticks, where Hornets have targeted all afternoon. The kicking tee was thrown off by Danny Yates, and it was fed out to the right side. It went through hands before it found Jordan Case, who wrestled his way over, and it's a good try. He knows where the white line is, Jordan Case, and he's been particularly impressive this season from both. He's featured at both second row and in the centre as well early on in the season. And
so he shows good versatility, as you say, Jordan Case, and he's over for another Rochdale try. And we called it a bit wrong there, thinking they'd go for the 2. Maybe that's why we're up here and not down there. It's Danny Yates, as you mentioned, threw the tee off, but he's got the tee on now, and he manages to strike the post, and it finds its way over, and there is the hooter that we've been expecting for the last 5 minutes. So Danny Yates converts on the stroke of half time. Rochdale are 36 up here at the New River Stadium. thanks to a hat-trick from John O'Smith, which came after Warren Thompson's opener, and Jordan Case has just forced his way over on the stroke of half-time. So, Rochdale well in front, a man up as well after that sin bin into Aaron Small. We'll leave you for the half-time break and we'll resume coverage back for the second half.
Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. With just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes,
as well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details, and please remember to play responsibly.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
Check out our Rochdale Hornets shop, either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details.
Rochdale Hornets is proud to be sponsored by some great partners. Our 2016 sponsors are Molesworth Solicitors, Walkwright Podiatry, Emma Conway Training, The Colour Copier Company, Develop Office Communication Solutions courtesy of D-Sales UK Limited, TBA Protective Technologies of Rochdale and the RRG Group of Rochdale. And finally, a very special thank you to our main shirt sponsor, the Quirky Catering Company, based at the Flying Horse Hotel in Rochdale. Please support the businesses that support your Rochdale Hornets.
Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. With just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes,
as well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details, and please remember to play responsibly.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
check out our Rochdale Hornets shop, either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details.
Rochdale Hornets is proud to be sponsored by some great partners. Our 2016 sponsors are Molesworth Solicitors, Walkwright Podiatry, Emma Conway Training, The Colour Copier Company, Develop Office Communication Solutions courtesy of D-Sales UK Limited, TBA Protective Technologies of Rochdale and the RRG Group of Rochdale. And finally, a very special thank you to our main shirt sponsor, the Quirky Catering Company, based at the Flying Horse Hotel in Rochdale. Please support the businesses that support your Rochdale Hornets.
Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. With just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes,
as well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details, and please remember to play responsibly.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today. Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
Check out our Rochdale Hornets shop, either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details.
Rochdale Hornets is proud to be sponsored by some great partners. Our 2016 sponsors are Molesworth Solicitors, Walkwright Podiatry, Emma Conway Training, The Colour Copier Company, Develop Office Communication Solutions courtesy of D-Sales UK Limited, TBA Protective Technologies of Rochdale and the RRG Group of Rochdale. And finally, a very special thank you to our main shirt sponsor, the Quirky Catering Company, based at the Flying Horse Hotel in Rochdale. Please support the businesses that support your Rochdale Hornets.
Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. For just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes.
as well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details, and please remember to play responsibly.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
Check out our Rochdale Hornets shop, either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details.
Rochdale Hornets is proud to be sponsored by some great partners. Our 2016 sponsors are Molesworth Solicitors, Walkwright Podiatry, Emma Conway Training, The Colour Copier Company, Develop Office Communication Solutions courtesy of D-Sales UK Limited, TBA Protective Technologies of Rochdale and the RRG Group of Rochdale. And finally, a very special thank you to our main shirt sponsor, the Quirky Catering Company, based at the Flying Horse Hotel in Rochdale. Please support the businesses that support your Rochdale Hornets.
Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. For just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes.
As well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details, and please remember to play responsibly.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
Check out our Rochdale Hornets shop, either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details.
Rochdale Hornets is proud to be sponsored by some great partners. Our 2016 sponsors are Molesworth Solicitors, Walkwright Podiatry, Emma Conway Training, The Colour Copier Company, Develop Office Communication Solutions courtesy of D-Sales UK Limited, TBA Protective Technologies of Rochdale and the RRG Group of Rochdale. And finally, a very special thank you to our main shirt sponsor, the Quirky Catering Company, based at the Flying Horse Hotel in Rochdale. Please support the businesses that support your Rochdale Hornets.
Did you know you could win a whopping £10,000 in the Rochdale Hornets lottery? And you could also get consolation prizes from £10 to £250.
Plus, you could also have a chance of winning vouchers for local shops, restaurants and experiences that money just can't buy. With just £1 a week, you could have a chance of winning all of these amazing prizes.
as well as supporting the club. Visit Hornets Rugby League for more details, and please remember to play responsibly.
Welcome back to New River Stadium with myself, Luke Harrison, and Sean Hayes for Rochdale 13 live commentary. Hornets currently 30 points to 6 up at half time. Been a real strong half from the visitors. John O'Smith's gone in for a first half hat trick with tries from Jordan Case and Warren Thompson, all converted by Danny Yates. London just making their way out back onto the pitch. They'll be attacking from right to left this half, with obviously Rochdale attacking left to right. What do you make of that first half, Sean?
It started out a bit of an even third. It was, not a lot of flowing rugby there. London had some early chances, which Rochdale managed to see out, and then it seemed like Rochdale just clicked into gear. They started having some joy down the left edge. John O'Smith with a hat trick there. He's been great in that first period, and it just seemed like everything started to click for Rochdale, and then obviously the half ended with the sin binning of Aaron Small. So they've got a chance now in this next 8 or 9 minutes without him on the field to really put the foot on the throat and kill this game off, haven't they, Luke?
Yeah, they definitely have. You just worry, it's in the back of your mind that the sin binning could rally them. They could have had some harsh words at half time and they'll come out and really ramp up. But I think Hornets have dealt well. They've not been bad, Skolars. They threw a lot at us in the opening stages. But Hornets have just been good. They've come off the back of a poor defeat last week at Barra, and they're really showing who the team are that's second in the comp. Just hearing that obviously York have made the trip to Toulouse today, taking only 15 players, which is phenomenal really after the fortnight they've had, and they're currently 10 points to 0 up in the south of France, which is remarkable. Obviously we play them at Scotland in the next few weeks. First off though, need to get this game finished at London. The ball's on the tee. The referee's in the middle. Bit of a busy afternoon for the referee, Tom Grant. I think he's handled it well.
Yeah, there's a lot of penalties gone against Skolars. They conceded 7 in that first period, and then obviously the sin binning. Aaron Small had been involved in a few incidents in that first half, but he seems to have controlled it quite well, the referee. He's done a decent job in the middle as Rochdale start the game coming from their own end, attacking left to right as Luke mentioned, and Samir plays the ball with Ryan McNeely darting from dummy half. Ben Moore's, you'd expect him to come out in the second half, play some part in the second half, after coming off injured in that first period. He's currently sat on the bench and doesn't look in any pain. As Rochdale make their way towards the halfway line with a good carry from Harry Cartwright, who was on debut, and he drives his way towards 45 metres out, and the referee and the linesman's on for a bit extra in the tackle. That's a good result for Rochdale, as they'll surely be awarded the penalty here. Harry Cartwright on debut. Great carry into the London half and looks to have drawn a penalty out of him. The referee has a word with the Skolars and awards Rochdale a penalty, the 8th of the game. So Danny Yates will kick to touch 40 metres out. and gets Rochdale within 20 metres of the Skolars try line after great work from Harry Cartwright there. And it'll be John Smith who takes the first carry.
Just back on to Ben Moores, just had it confirmed by the coaching staff that he'll return. He got a finger in the eye in a tackle, so he's gone off. Struggled with that a bit, but it's likely that he'll be coming back on.
So that's great news for Rochdale as Samir carts the ball up close to the line, 5 or so metres out. Sloppy play the ball again as they're lying on, and he manages to play it eventually. The ball goes out the back to Danny Yates. Tilly steps past the tackle and forces his way through another before offloading to Casey. Dummies and then finds Corey Lee with a looping pass, but he steps into touch. Bit of ad-lib football from Rochdale there, and there's some pushing and shoving in front of us in the corner. It's had that feel about it all game. Trying to niggle at Rochdale, but nothing comes of it, and Rochdale pass up an opportunity to go even further ahead in this game. But as Corey Lee stepped into touch, it'll be a Skolars feed 10 metres out from their own line. Danny Yates is barking instructions. He's played a pivotal role, hasn't he, Luke? He's the only real halfback on the pitch with James Tilley playing at 6, and he's had a good 40 minutes, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been really impressive. He's picked up the sort of the role in talking and leading the team around the pitch that Paul Crook has got. Obviously, the club captain Wayne English is playing as well, but he's really vocal, Danny Yates, and he's one of them. He demands respect off his teammates, and it really shows. And the ball's just tipped out to London. He's met by Samir and Ryan Manili, who's been had a lot of involvement since coming off the bench. And the ball shipped deep, and it's charged down by Matty Haddon, and it's bobbled back up to London, who've got the repeat set. And the referees just pulled it back for a penalty. I think is that for a offside, Sean?
It looked to be for a high tackle.
Oh, it's a high tackle, sorry.
So a chance for Skolars to attack here. 20 metres out, so they take a quick tap.
Yeah, they look riled up. London after that sin bin late in the second half. They've had some harsh words at half time. They've come out really ramped up. They're just probing the line now. The dummy half goes in. That's a poor try to concede for Rochdale Hornets. I know it's an absolute pet hate of Alan Kilshaw, a dummy half try, and London have just got in under the sticks. The hooker, Billy Driver, the hooker's just scooped the ball up from dummy half. He's dummied the man and slid in under the post, and it's a poor try to concede. And them lapses in concentration now just need nipping in the bud.
It's the kind of try that makes you wince. It wasn't pretty at all. Rochdale falling asleep under the sticks at marker, and you can't afford to concede tries like that. The interchange hooker, Billy Driver, going over from dummy half. We know all about Alan's dislike for those kind of tries, and like you say, it's about now Rochdale switching on and not letting London get back in this game as they convert the try and go within 18 points. So now for Rochdale, it's about a response and about not getting complacent here. The 12 men of London have struck first in this second half. Rochdale leading 30-12. Danny Yates will get us underway again. And Rochdale will be looking for a response. So Yates drills it to the corner. And first up with the tackle is Jordan Case. He's got the help of James Tilley, who's been massively involved in defence, as always. Another carry from London, straight up to James Tilley, who's in there. And then they managed to get an offload to Billy Driver. And Billy Driver drives his way to the 40 metre. He's eventually taken down by Ratu. Bichet throws it out. Fullback drops the ball off to Delapi, who is taken just short of the halfway line, just inside his own half. As the ball goes right. It's found its way all the way over to the edge, and Danny Yates is palmed off, but then goes back for a second effort and eventually takes his man down. And he's involved in another tackle as London make it to 30 metres out on the last tackle. So the fullback puts a kick up towards the corner. Corey Lee leaves it for the winger, his opposite number to take, and as he tries to knock it back, Michael Ratu cleans up possession with a good take. And now it's a high shot on Wayne English. The referee signals to his shoulder, but it looked high from up here. As Rochdale edging the way towards the halfway line with this set. And a goal left to John O'Smith, and John O'Smith gets them into that Skolars half, and that's a great carry, and he's drawn a penalty as well. Great effort by John O'Smith as he's shoved in the back. It seems like they're trying to get Rochdale dragged into a bit of a fight here, Luke, don't they?
Yeah, it seems like it's all they're interested in doing, slowing it down, pushing and shoving. Just sort of see the game out now. It's a strange one. Hornets have dominated much of the first half, and you'd just expect now for him to see it out and not get sucked into the arm wrestle that London are trying to drag him into. And it's out to Samir with a good drive. 5 metres out. It's another penalty for Rochdale, 5 metres out from the line. Just had it mentioned by Sean. That's the 10th London penalty of the afternoon, which is remarkable. We're not even 50 minutes through. Looks like Hornets have opted to kick, and they have opted to kick this time. The tee's on. Danny Yates, he's banging in front of the sticks, 10 metres out. You'd expect shortly for it to be 32-12 to Rochdale. We're back with you shortly.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
Yep, the ball, welcome back. The ball's on the tee now for Danny Yates, who's 10 metres out. Looks like a routine conversion.
Shouldn't miss this one.
We say, touch wood.
Take some effort.
Yeah, he just knocked it over. The touch judge's flags go in the air. And London will restart the game from a kick-off.
It takes them to 4 scores ahead now. Bit more breathing space after conceding that try.
It was good game management to recognise the scoreline. You're 10 metres out from the line, run the clock down, go for 2.
It takes the sting out of the defence as well. They've come out a bit irate, as you mentioned, ramped up, ready to work for one another because they're a man down. And it works so far for them as they got the first try of the half, but Rochdale took the sting out of that with that penalty, and they'll field the kick deep on their own try line as James Tilley gives possession to Matty Haddon, and he's hit by some good defence. He's been on the end of a few big tackles from that big London unit as there's some niggling going on the ground for Samir, and he is given a penalty for it's a yellow card for number 10, David Williams. So that's 2 in the bin. Persistent penalties from London Skolars, and it must have been on a team warning as David Williams held down Samir Tarawi too long, and he's been given his marching orders for 10 minutes, and Rochdale have got to exploit this now, haven't they, Luke?
Yeah, definitely. 2 men in the bin now for London. Obviously, that Aaron Smalley was sin-binned at the end of that. At the end of that, for first half, will be making his way back onto the pitch shortly. But it looks like they'll be without a man down for much of this second half now. As I say it from the restart, Hornets have knocked on and turned possession over. And it's number 11, Mike Warrinchi, who takes it in. And Billy Driver picks it up and just spreads it out. And it's a rare London penalty now, about 35 metres out from the Hornets line. They're not going for 2. Oh, I thought they was going for 2 then, but he's just tipped it up for Mike Warrinchi to run onto, and he's made some good yards. They're laying the platform here, London, which will be difficult with 11 men on. Just been made aware that the sin-bin clock's finished now, and the London, Aaron Smalley was sin-binned at the end of the first half for an off-the-ball incident. It's now back on the pitch. And the ball's just dribbled into Hornets in goal. And it's John O. Smith who scoops it up. He looks for a way out, he's caught, and he actually flicked the ball out the back door for, I think it was Dale Bloomfield, to give him a chance to get out, but it's not. It'll be a Hornets dropout under the sticks. London will be looking to utilise this now, Sean.
Yeah, they've got a good opportunity to score another one here as Rochdale rotate the front row. Joe Tyra and Warren Thompson back out there, as well as, well, it looks like Ben Moore, so he'll be coming on for Harry Cartwright as Rochdale dropped the ball out to London's 40, but Joe Tyra's first involvement is a big hit just inside his own half from that dropout. He'll be looking to provide a bit of a spark in the middle for Rochdale, as London have a chance to attack now. They go left. Halfback finds his centre, who's found by Ratu, but he manages to offload the ball, and Billy Driver ends up with it now central, but he's dragged around by Joe, and Ben Moores helps out to drive him over the 40-metre line.
Yeah, it's good to see Ben Moores back on the pitch after that eye injury.
You mentioned that he was planning on moving him into the halves. It'll be interesting to see what position he takes up when Rochdale have got the ball. As
just looking now, I think Ryan Manili's still on, and James Tilley, so I'm not even sure who he's replaced. I think it's Samir he's replaced, and he's come in now.
So kick's put up by London, and it's brilliantly taken by Dale Bloomfield there. Well, like you say, it'd be interesting to see where Moores comes into play now, as Rochdale look for a way out from their own try line. A great take from Dale Bloomfield from Oscar Thomas's kick. He's been heavily involved, the fullback, hasn't he? He's done a lot of the kicking for London, and he's had a lot of ball in hand.
Yeah, I believe he's on loan from Bradford Bulls as well, and he's had a productive afternoon in what's been limited for London. James Tilley just takes the ball in on the Hornets' right side.
A couple of Rochdale players down in back play, isn't there?
Yeah.
Warren Thompson and
There's 2 players just gone down. I think it's Lewis Galbraith on the far side, and then I think Warren Thompson's got a knock in one of the in the tackle, and he's gone down now, and he's lied out. He looks like a leg or a knee injury, and he looks to be struggling. He doesn't? It's not often that he goes down. He's a solid player. He's a no-nonsense player, typical prop forward, and it's unusual that you'll see him go down injured.
Yeah, like you say, he's your typical front rower. He doesn't go down unless he's mentioned, unless he's hurt. And he's getting some attention from the doctor.
just while there's a break in play, we'd like to thank you for listening, being patient with us. We've had a few technical issues over the last few weeks, so thanks for keep coming back, listening to us, and persevering. We've had a few people tweeting in. Mark Harris is listening from AAA Pest Control, as is my mum, who's in my mum and dad in Cyprus, listening all the way from Cyprus. So I hope you're having a good holiday.
That technology,
yeah,
brilliant thing,
brilliant the internet. But yeah, thanks for listening. It's a good package we're trying to put together, and we need you to keep coming out and listening to us, and we hope to keep improving it, and it will keep improving over the next few weeks. Just a concern here, Sean. Warren Thompson and Lewis Galbraith are both still down. I know Trigger went down in the first half with what looked like a head injury, but it's not. He looks to be clutching his ankle.
The stretcher's over there,
and the stretcher's come on for Lewis.
We'll have to see.
He's being tended to by Brian, the Hornets physio, while the London physio's treating Warren with Dave Ramsbottom. He's up on his feet now.
He looks to be testing that out, and with a bit of luck, it won't be a game ender for Warren. Lewis is still down though, and you've got to wonder where he'll turn if Lewis can't carry on. A lot of forwards on the bench.
Yeah, he looks to be getting on that stretcher now. That's a worrying sight. He had a few weeks out earlier in the year. He injured his back. He injured his hand at Barrow in the Pro Cup. He actually broke his hand. He was out for, I think it was about 6 weeks. So he'll be frustrated. He's just started to find a bit of form. He's been going well. The stretcher's away. He's up on his feet, but it looks like he'll be assisted off. It looks like his afternoon could be over, Sean.
Yeah, it's game over for Lewis. It looks bit of reshuffling for Alan Kilshaw to make here. He's sent Alex Sumper on in his place as Michael Ratu goes over to the left centre position where Galbraith was occupying, and Sumper replaces Ratu on the right edge. So Sumper straight in at centre, but on the opposite side, and Rochdale will kick through Danny Yates, deep but straight to the fullback, and he passes on possession to Paxton, who carts the ball back towards the 40 metre. So they're on the front foot a bit here. Does London make it into Rochdale's half with the next play? And then they go right. It's just a simple one-up play, which Rochdale are equal to. But he's made some good metres in the process, and he's still going over to the 20-metre line. It's a good result for London, and there's some complaining about the tackle from them. He'd have been better off just playing the ball there. And they go central here and get towards that 10-metre line. So London probing, looking for an opening. The ball goes out the back through hands, and the fullback Oscar Thomas steps back inside and gets an offload away, and a little chip over the top, and that's very soft, isn't it? I think is it Bishop, possibly Bishop. He's tried a little chip over the top. He's run straight into James Tilley and dove on the floor, a bit like a footballer there, Luke, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was poor really. They're just trying anything now to claw the way back in. It's a shame really. You don't want to see that. As John O. Smith takes it in. Joe Taira now skips past one, takes it in. It's three men wrap him up. He still manages to drive forward. He plays it out to Ryan Manili, onto Alex Trumper on the wing now. It's a crunching hit on Alex Trumper. He plays it to Danny Yates now, who kicks, and he just runs it into touch. Danny Yates, that's a great kick.
That phrase, game management, comes into play there from Danny Yates. See, it's been a contest has evened up a bit. London have had some ball in Rochdale's half, and they don't want them to have any more, so he's drilled the ball into touch, and London will come away from their own try line about 15 metres out. The scrum is formed. They'll have head and feed. It's a good play from Yates, who's been impressive all afternoon. He's marshalled Rochdale around the pitch well in the absence of Paul Crook. As London forget how many men it takes to form a scrum and eventually get there, and we'll have a scrum feed. They've tried to hold the ball in the scrum and catch Rochdale off guard there, and great discipline from Rochdale to stay in the scrum. Luke, we've seen that play work a lot this season, and they've avoided giving away a cheap penalty there. Yeah,
it's good vision. There were voices from outside the scrum. Just mentioned he's holding it, and the defensive line stops. It's a crafty play. It's a good one when it comes off. I think we've used it a few times this season. Caught a few teams out with it. Mike Bichet just picks the ball up from dummy half, tips it onto Juma. It's back out to Bichet. The referee said it's been palmed out of the tackle. It'll be a scrum to London.
On the halfway. It's been a bit of a scrappy second half, hasn't it, Luke? It just seems like it's waiting to get going. It's not kicked off really.
I think that'll suit London though. I think they've wanted to slow it down all afternoon. It's been messy, and it's been pushing and shoving, wriggling on the floor, not letting the game flow. And it's suited them as it's gone on. They've dragged us into a bit of an arm wrestle over the last 10 minutes or so. But it'll suit them as they look for a way back in it. I know Alan Kilshaw's. He's very keen for a fast game, a fast ruck, fast play the ball, and it's frustrating when you don't get it.
Some good defence from Rochdale in this set. They've forced London back here, and Billy Driver gets away from dummy half after a quick play and gets over the 40 metre, so Rochdale will want to keep him here and not concede many more metres. As I say that, they miss a tackle and the ball goes out to the winger, and they scored in the corner. As we were just talking about not conceding any more metres, a soft tackle on the edge, and Rochdale let London in. John Paxton's over in the corner. A soft try to concede there, Luke.
Yeah, we were just saying it. The slow game will suit London. It's what they've been trying to do all afternoon, and they've worked it to their advantage. They've slowed it. They've drove the way up the pitch, and it's broke out to the wing, and they've touched down. It will be Oscar Thomas who lines up the conversion from the touchline. We're back with you shortly after these adverts.
Rochdale Hornets need your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
Check out our Rochdale Hornets shop, either online or at Spotland Stadium. We have polo shirts, fleeces, hoodies, tops, waterproof jackets and much more. Visit our shop for more details.
Yep, welcome back. Just waiting on Oscar Thomas. The ball's on the tee. He takes a run up from the touchline, and he just drags it wide, which leaves the score 32 points to 16 in the favour of Hornets. They need to get themselves out of this arm wrestle and just see the game out now, Sean. You don't want players getting frustrated, getting sin-binned or penalised unnecessarily. You just want to play the game out, manage the game now to the end, and just see it's a 16-point advantage now.
Yeah, and as well as that, there's a lot of forwards out on that pitch now after Lewis Galbraith was taken from the field, and he won't play any further part in this game. And Alex Sumper's covered the centre position in his absence. It's Rochdale are down to 16 effectively, and they'll want to get back on top and try and see out the rest of this game. It's a tough place to come, and they're a tough side to play, London. They don't want to play into their strengths any more than they have done in this second half. as they're making some good meters now, and a big carry from the number 8, Michael Sykes. He's a big lad, and he's brushed off a few there as he makes his way into Rochdale's half. They take the sting out of that attack with a good hit from Ben Moores. It's last tackle now, and it goes to the fullback Thomas again, and he's the man who puts the kick up high towards Corey Lee. Dale Bloomfield, apologies, and he's equal to the task again. Not had much ball today, has he, Dale, out on that wing, but he's defended those high kicks well from Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be frustrated with the lack of ball, but he's done his job when needed. He's defended well. And he's reliable, Dale Bloomfield, and that's why special mention to him on his 100th game, actually. His 100th professional game from playing for Rochdale, Oldham, and then back to Rochdale. But yeah, he's been Mr. Consistent. He knows where the line is, and he'll do a job for you. And he's had a quiet but productive afternoon, sort of in defence. It's a good kick from Danny Yates, who just teases it forward. Oscar Thomas picks it up and ships it out to Poxton, who comes back inside. And it's Billy Driver who just takes it in. He's been busy, Billy Driver. He's had a reasonably busy afternoon in attack. He takes it in, he takes it right to the guts of the defence. And as we talk, Oscar Thomas has just broke the line, and he's brought down by, I believe it was Wayne English, who just chops him down. It was a certain try. They just chip it through, and it's killed again. Wayne English collects the ball now. The kick's been charged down. It's bounced up to Wayne English. There's 2 in pursuit, and he just shrugs off the defence. Fantastic try from Wayne English. He's gone 70 metres up pitch. He's been rewarded with the bounce from a charge down. He's picked it up. There's 3 London players chasing him down, and he just palms them off and manages to get the ball down. Looked a bit hairy there for the last 5 or 10 metres, but he manages to get it down.
Yeah, it looked like he was running in quicksand in the last 10 metres there, but he had the pace to find his way over it eventually. It came off another charge down. I think it's the 3rd that Rochdale have come up with in this game, but the other 2 have ended in the tackle count being wiped clean and a repeat set for the opposition. But it paid off this time, and Wayne English was in a good position to scoop up the loose ball, and he had just about enough to see off Paxton, who had made his way from the opposite wing to try and chase him down.
I think there was a bit of panic in his mind when he looked over his shoulder for the pass, and there was nobody with him, and he dummies to nobody, palms the man off, and manages to touch the ball down on that left edge. Danny Yates just tees a kick up about half a metre in from the touchline. I think he's got a 100% record this afternoon with a boot, Danny Yates. We're looking to add to this, but it's a difficult kick. If you're just joining us, we're at New River Stadium for London Skolars versus Rochdale Hornets at 5 o'clock kickoff. It's Rochdale 13 live commentary. And Danny Yates just lines the kick up. And it's good. Danny Yates just slots the conversion from the touchline. We've said all afternoon he's taken on a lot of responsibility now with Paul Crook missing out, and he's been flawless with a boot. Danny Yates taking on that responsibility as well. He makes the score 38-16 now to Hornets.
Yeah, a great afternoon for Danny Yates so far, and another great conversion from the touchline. As Rochdale well in front here now. Joe Tyra will take the first hit up of the set. So Rochdale 38-16 up. Warren Thompson opened the scoring in the first half after just a couple of minutes. It was John O'Smith treble came after that before Jordan Case found his way over just before half time.
He's had a reasonably quiet second half, John O'Smith, after his first half hat-trick. Wonder if they finally sussed him out.
Yeah, maybe they've smarted up to it a bit. Is this a 40-20 from Danny Yates? I don't know. No, he must have been in his own 40, but it was a very good kick nonetheless, wasn't it, Luke? He's managed to find touch inside London's 10, and they'll have to come out from their own try line with possession here.
Yeah, it was a fantastic kick. Like you say, 10 metres out from their own line, scrum down. Hornets will be looking to trap him here. I know Alan Kilshaw likes that ruthlessness in defence, and he'll be looking to trap him. As we say that though, Skolars break. They've just broke 20 metres, about 25 out from their own line. And tip it on, charging the way upfield now. There's about 12 left on the clock, and it looks now like Hornets will see this game out without much issue. We said that though, London are advancing, just crept into the Hornets half. I think it's tackle 4. Good defence on the halfway line. Warren Thompson in again. Corey Lee comes in and makes sure. It's a wayward pass. There's been a few passes that have gone to ground so far from London. And you just scoop it up. And it's the last tackle now, sorry. It comes deep for the kicker, who bombs it high. It's a towering kick. Corey Lee's under it, he makes sure. Well taken from Corey Lee there on the wing. Corey Lee's a player who's not featured much this year. He's been in and out, and he featured at Hemel. He got 2 tries at Hemel. It was his last outing for Hornets, and he's had a really solid afternoon.
Yeah, I think when you speak to Alan about him, he always says that he's there or thereabouts. He's always on the fringes and looking to force his way in, and he's had a solid afternoon today, and gives Alan another option, obviously at full-back and at wing.
Yeah, we need to bear in mind as well that there's 3 players in Steve Roper, Josh Crowley and Jack Holmes who we've signed from Oldham this year. Obviously, with them signing at Oldham, they knew this weekend in the Championship was a free weekend, so they've got prior commitments elsewhere, and they missed out. And you look at the likes of Paul Crook, who's missed out as well. Dave Cookson's not in the side, still struggling with that shoulder. There are irregulars who've missed out this weekend, but the lads who've pulled on the shirt have done the club proud. They've been outstanding this afternoon, Sean. Yeah,
and I totally agree with you there, Luke. It's been a good performance, 1-17 really for Rochdale, and then I think it's testament to the depth of the squad that Alan's built this season. There's a lot of depth in that squad, and obviously they have the luxury of calling on Warrington Wolves when needed. They've got a fantastic dual registration partnership with Warrington, which gives them great facilities and obviously use of some great players when needed. But Alan has stuck to his guns a lot this season, and he's shown that they've got a lot of depth in this squad with the 17 that have come out today. And you look at, like you say, Paul Crook's not been involved, but James Tilley's took over in the halves. He's not had much involvement with the ball, but he's been his usual self in defence, hasn't he, Luke? And it's been an all-round solid performance from James, as you'd expect.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's built up a reputation across League One as a real, ferocious defender. He chips in an attack. He knows where the line is, but he's solid. He'll make 30 tackles a game. When the stats are circulated in the week, he's always topping the charts for defence. He's always got a hand in attack, and he's got a good pair of hands for a forward. And he's done really well. He's adapted to the half back role today, and I think at the minute he's having a well-earned breather. I think. Yeah, he's been consistent. Really impressive this season. There was a patches last season where he was referred to as the walking penalty. He was really overzealous in both his attack and defence, and he was prone to getting pinged. But this season he's not shook that off completely, but he's sort of learning. He's learning under Killer.
Number 9, Charlie Lawrence, returning to the field for London Stars, number 14, Billy Driver.
Charlie Lawrence has just gone off the pitch injured. He's replaced by Driver, who's been impressive. So let's get the ball. Danny Yates bombs it. And it's taken well by the London man, but he's trapped 5 metres out. He's looked for the offload and he's got it. Yeah, they reacted well to the offload there. And some devastating defence by Joe Taira there. He smashed the man initially and he bumped off and he went in for the second bite. I think the London man's taken a bit of an exception to it. It was the London winger, number 2, Sam Nash.
You can hear every one of Joe's hits up in the commentary position, can't you?
Suva Express, I think he's been called. Joined us from Mayfield last year. He's been fantastic this year.
Suspicion of forward there, but London got away with it.
Yeah, the lucky there. I think it'd be. I was just going to say it'd be very harsh at this stage now for the referee to ping them for that borderline decision, and they've gone on to the next tackle and knocked it on. So the ball will come back to Hornets from the scrum.
Not to be coming into the closing stages now. A good response from Rochdale after conceding them 2 tries. They could have easily panicked and caved in, but they've gone back to what worked well in the first half, and they've just saw this game out well, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done really well. They've managed it well. It's been a professional performance more than anything. They've conceded three tries, but there was the dummy half try which was soft, but the other 2 tries you can put down as a bit of stroke of class in patches from London, which is fair enough. They're a good side, and they've shocked teams this year. And there was always the worry that we'd come down here on a Saturday night and we could get stung, and we've not. The lads have seen it out. We stopped over last night. Arrived late last night and stopped over, and it's been a well-organised trip. The lads have spent some time together and they've benefited from it. I wouldn't have liked to have done that journey this morning and got here leggy and still on the bus. I think we'd have been a bit flat.
Definitely, it was tough enough doing the journey last night, and we did get in late last night after stopping in Coventry for a bit of a team feed. But like you say, we'd have probably seen a different Rochdale performance if they'd travelled up today on the day. Yeah,
I think so. We've been guilty of that at places like Hemel and Oxford, where we've still been on the bus for the opening minutes, and we've sort of. We were drawn into an arm wrestle early doors, but we were well in the contest. It wasn't us. It was a good London. It was good London defence, and Wayne English just knocks the ball on at the play of the ball. It's a scrum down for London.
It's just about getting to that full-time hooter now for Rochdale, isn't it? And just managing the rest of the game and just not conceding anymore, really, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, absolutely. Just as we're looking at the closing stages, have you had any thoughts about a man of the match, Sean?
I mean, in the first half, there was only one that you'd have picked in John O'Smith. He's had a bit of a quieter second 40, as you mentioned, but we've mentioned him a bit in this second half, and I think Danny Yates has been brilliant. He's had the job of two players, really. He's marshalled Rochdale well. You can hear his voice up here. He's been barking orders all game. And his kicking game's been impressive, and he's been impressive with the ball in hand as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like you say, there's 5 or 6 who you can pick off and say, you look at Ryan Neal, who's been impressive off the bench. Warren Thompson's consistent, has always been fantastic. Samir has sort of found that form that he had at the start of the year, and he's been fantastic this afternoon. Joe Taylor as well puts himself about as normal. From 1 to 17, there's been nobody who's shied away. They've all got stuck in, and it's been a real good performance and a good day for the club. Hornets benefit now from a London knock-on from the scrum. It's out to Danny Yates, onto Jordan Mike Ratu, sorry, not Jordan Case.
Good carry from Ratu, but he's pushed back a couple of metres. The second effort from London. It's a poor play of the ball. It's the third knock-on we've seen. That's
a carbon copy of Wayne English's knock-on from a minute ago. He gets up for a fast play of the ball and just knocks the ball forward with his foot. A bit careless, really, from a man with Ratu's experience.
He could be thinking about that getting on that bus and getting home now. They're coming towards the end of the game. The points are pretty much in the bag for Rochdale, but they won't want to end on a bad note as they make the tackle on London's 30 from the scrum. That man Aaron Small, who was dismissed at the end of the first half, takes the next carry. London go up through the middle now. And from Henry was sinned in, David Williams takes the carry. And the penalty for a bit of pushing and shoving. London can pick up their 5th penalty of the afternoon after conceding 11 themselves. And they'll attack Rochdale's line now as Juma takes it up towards the 10 metre on the left hand side, and the ball goes to the middle now. Another carry from the London forwards, and Rochdale are equal to it, about 10 metres out. Driver jumps from dummy half as he's done all half really, and this time he's taken. The ball goes right to Thomas, who goes out the back to Coleman, and he chips over the top, and Paxton's in for his second. Rochdale caught napping on that right edge as Coleman chips the ball into the corner, and Paxton scores in the same position he scored his first. Bit simpler, that effort, and there was no one at home as Rochdale concede. So, Rochdale concede. Disappointing end to the game if they're not to right the wrongs of that try. It was a little chip over the top by Coleman, and Paxton was on hand to score as Thomas lines up the kick, and we'll be back with you in a moment.
Rochdale Hornets needs your support. For only £20 you can become a member of the Hornets family. You can find out more information on the Hornets official website. Join today.
As we left here, Thomas, sent that kick over the sticks. And Rochdale still ahead here, 38-22. Oscar Thomas converting Paxton's second of the game. We've got about 3 minutes left here at New River Stadium. Myself, Sean Hayes, and Luke Harrison bringing you live commentary from this League One Super 8s match-up. Rochdale bouncing back from that defeat to Barrow Raiders last week as London looked to play the ball from the kick-off. The ball goes from left to right, and they're eventually tackled about 17, 18 metres out from their own line. Taking on the 20 metre line, the next tackle, and Driver jumps from dummy half and eats up some more metres. He's had a very good game in that Skolars shirt, and he got the offload away to Small before he's hit by Joe Tyra, and then Rochdale concede the penalty, and London eager to get on with the game here. They kick the ball into touch and find possession 20 metres out from Rochdale's line. They try a quick tap, but referee isn't ready. And eventually we get play back underway as Michael Sykes takes the ball up and is dragged down about 12 metres out from Rochdale's try line. Driver in at dummy half again. He dummies one before finding Thomas, and that's a brilliant pass under pressure from him to get it away to the man to his left, but Rochdale are up and in his face and bring him down about 5 metres out. Driver with a drop off at the play, and Rochdale concede again. Simple play from Driver at dummy half. He drops the ball off to Delappy, and he forces his way over for another London try. They're cutting the deficit, but they haven't got time on their side here. Luke, we spoke that we didn't want a sour end to this game, and that's what looks like. That's what we've got.
Yeah, it's going that way. As you could probably hear, the final hoot has just gone. Bit of a two poor tries to concede, really. There's a lot of forwards out on that pitch who are probably tiring, to be fair. It's a warm evening, and I think you could possibly put it down to that, but no, a bit of a poor end, really, from what's been quite a productive afternoon for Hornets. They've been impressive in patches. They've just switched off. I think they saw Trevor shaking his hooter, and they've switched off. But that's it. That's full time. It's finished 28-38 to Rochdale, and your Rochdale 13 man of the match is Danny Yates. Any final comments, Sean?
Well, it's one of those. You've got the job done. It's a 38-28 win for Rochdale. Not the perfect ending, but they'll be coming away from London with the 2 points. It's a tough journey to make. It's a late kick-off. It's been a long weekend. On the bus coming down last night, and we've had an early morning today, but they got over the line, and that's the most important thing. They'll be going into next week's game off the back of a win, and Alan Kilshaw will be happy with the 2 points, but not so happy with that ending. So we'll just wrap up our commentary and live coverage here. Myself, Sean Hayes, and Luke Harrison would like to thank you for joining us here, our live commentary from New River Stadium. Rochdale 38-28 winners over London Skolars. Man of the match, as mentioned, Danny Yates. And thanks for joining us.